morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is you're looking at this. I'm again coming to you with another message. And my message this time, is a segue from last time on purchasing power. But before I begin, I would like to answer some questions some may have on what makes me an authority or an adept figure at the issues I'm presenting. Well, mostly the issues I'm going to be presenting through my vlogs are issues pertaining to my life, which is 20 years involved in street crime, criminal activity, gang activity, incarceration, Rikers Island, Sing Sing, Clinton, numerous medium and maximum securities throughout New York State, Virginia State, New Jersey State, and turning that around and making the change and presently having 5 years free, clean from incarceration, crime, criminal activity, gang activity. I've been 5 years in academia. I got 2 degrees, an associate and a bachelor's. So I feel like, instead of harboring and feeding the negative energy that is, how could they say, a factor of or part of the life I left behind. All the emotions and the intense emotions that carried over into my transformation and my new life. I have no channeling, no venue for it, no vent. So this is basically what it's about. Channeling this energy and all these theories and thoughts in my head, which I've always done, and sharing them. Making use of this era we in, this information era, this technology era. So making use of this technology era, I feel like I'll share what I feel I've learned, accomplished, gained, whether positive or negative, throughout my experiences for whoever feels, the interest to click on and listen and take the time and listen. And I guarantee you, whoever listens will walk away with something substantial and something to think about, ponder on, and maybe even respond to, or start a movement, do whatever. Me personally, like I said, this is just part of my transformation and part of my giving back. I like to talk, I have a lot to talk about. So with that being said, like I said, my impetus for my last vlog, Revolt and Purchasing Power, was, my whole life basically was about, rebelling and revolting. It started off, with what I felt, my parents did wasn't right, whatever the case may be, and I took action upon that. And not understanding that, and I'm talking years, I'm 41 years old, so I'm talking years of not understanding the severity of that action, taking your fate into your own hands and not allowing someone else to dictate to you what you should be doing, how you should be living or thinking or feeling, etc. So that was the impetus for my concept of revolt. And the part of revolt, the example I gave for revolt and the suggestion I gave was purchasing power. Now, to further elaborate on purchasing power, for people who feel like ignorance is bliss, that's a corny cliche. Ignorance is not bliss. So for all the people who know about purchasing power, and there's power in the dollar, and when you spend your money, yada yada yada. But if you notice, the knowledge without application is ignorance. Having knowledge and not applying it is ignorance. Having knowledge and applying it is wisdom. So if you have the knowledge that there's power in the dollar, but you go right after Thanksgiving, that you're supposed to be thankful for the little bit you have, go out and trample and kill people to get items that have no value whatsoever, that are contributing nothing to humanity or none of the larger social issues that are affecting the world today. You know, when you go out and do these type of things, it shows that, you know, yeah, the masses are ignorance is not bliss. So, with the information of purpose and power, I say this: we're in a capitalist, you know, society, capitalist culture, and you know, the whole point of capitalism, you know, is to make a profit. It's supposed to be bigger than just making a profit, but you know, the point of our capitalist system is all about profit. So, you know, if profit is more important than a person or an environment or, you know, humanity as a whole, if profit is more important than these things, then we're missing something. We're misconstrued, we're misdirected, misguided, you know, miseducated, and so on. So, if the people have the power, and this is the democracy, and your powers in your vote, and your constituents, and your politicians, and you know, the people you elect into these offices who make these bargains and deals with these corporations and these businesses and these private interest groups and special interest groups and so forth and so on. When you put these people in power, you give away your power. So you want to take back your power faster than the vote. Can't do it with a bullet. Can't do it with the ballot. This is where I said purchasing power. In a capitalist society, if the economy is based on profits and profits are astronomical, then the losses will be astronomical. So, if you have what? I'm just pick New York City, my hometown. You have a population of roughly New York City, roughly 9 million. The state, forget about it, but we ain't, and like I said, talking to a specific audience. If we take 4 million, roughly half of the 9 million, and stop their purchases in one day, the corporations and the politicians and, you know, everybody, what happened that day? What's going on? What was the cause of that? You know, and the inspiration and the idea I got for this was from my lifestyle, from the streets. For anyone in the streets know, when, especially old school, back in the day, when, you know, if you controlled a certain radius, you know, whether it was 3 blocks this way, 3 avenues that way, so forth, so on, and you had a product, and you let it be known through word of mouth, no one is to sell this type of product within this radius. And without word of mouth, if your clientele, your customer, your end of the day profits decline, and you hearing word of mouth through the grapevine, someone has your product over here, you would go see that person and you would take care of that. So it's the same thing in my opinion and in my perspective. The same dynamics would apply to the economy and these corporations' businesses. When they start losing astronomical amounts of money, when their profits decline drastically, rapidly, violently, they're gonna want to know what's the problem. Then when you start telling them what's the problem and you articulate it in a very focused and direct, concise, you know, articulate manner, you know, unrelentlessly, you know, or rather relentlessly, you'll be heard. So basically, you know, that's where I'm coming from with what I'm saying in my messages, you know, and the zeitgeist of the times, the social, political, economical, you know, climate of the times is, you know, conformity. We just conform. We just sit back playing with our little gadgets, so, you know, instead of me sitting home playing, bored with these guys, no, this is a message I'm sending out there to the world, to the people. Purchasing power. Start taking back your power. Let's organize. They try to start something every Black Friday to organize and stop spending. What do? We go out and spend. We go out and spend. So basically, like I said, I'm starting, you know, slowly but surely. But yeah, my movement started when, you know, I moved myself off the street into the house, and became a man, a role model, and a good example for my children to follow, and say that, regardless of what others may think of you, you have the ability at all times to take your power and create whoever you want to become, and change whoever you are, and reinvent yourself any way you wish to. So this is my message to those, mainly to the younger people. You have power more than just, in the gun, in the bullet, in the knife, in the fist. You have power in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions, in your speech. You have power in these things, man. You definitely have power in what you purchase, what you give your time to, your money to, your mind to, your thoughts to. That's where your power lies, man. Salute. Peace. It's not a game.